Hello, viewer. Just reminding you that if you have a question, comment, or submission for me or any of my characters, you can send it to chronicler177@gmail.com or post it in the fan mail channel of my Discord to have it answered in my fan mail series. And if you have the time, please leave a comment on this video to let me know what you thought of it. Your feedback is very important to me. Thanks, and enjoy the show. For Brotherhood War, we took a look at the body actors who help out with the productions. For Hyborean, I wanted to highlight the artists who helped work on it. For this video, I interviewed Showery Dragoon, who does a lot of the animated sequences, Sean, who worked on the title sequence, and Wolf and Night Avenger, two members of the Forge team. All of these guys are super talented, and I'm really happy to have them in today's video. Please enjoy. First, please introduce yourself and tell us about what you do.
Hello everyone, my name is Showery Dragon, or Robert Darling. I do have high functioning autism, and I'm actually Chronicler 177's assistant animator.
I'm the Forger, built the Batcave, as it's comically called. And I do this often. I've built quite a few maps so far for Cron.
I'm Razzle Dazzle. I go by Casual Disdain on YouTube, and I do a lot of effects work for a lot of really cool people.
My name is Night Avenger 01, and I obviously do forging mostly on Halo 5. Started forging a long time ago on Reach and then into 4, but didn't really start getting into it in Halo 5. And so far, I have worked on a machinima called Dead Silent by Last Second Films, and now I've had the fortunate pleasure to work on Hyborean for Chronicler.
What other things have you worked on outside of Hyborean?
For you, I definitely did your intro, and most of the intros for Brotherhood War and so on and so on.
You did Brotherhood War and you did Aftermath as well.
That was the one that was kind of like Christmas special-y.
Yeah, it was like ice. Yeah, that one was really cool. I still have no idea how you achieved the effect with the title icing over. That was really neat.
Yeah, I did that bit first. I found a tutorial on YouTube, and oh man, just went gung-ho with it.
Oh, it looked
I think
brilliant,
that came out
man.
really good.
Yes, it did. Yes, it absolutely did. Yeah, I'm very fond of that one. I'm also very fond of my intro. So thank you again for that. I haven't been able to thank you in person for that yet, so this is me thanking you in person for my kick-ass intro.
Did it really come out that great for you?
I fucking love it, dude.
I'm flattered.
Yeah, dude. Well, and especially compared to what I was using before. Like, I wanted something that... Because, okay, my shit takes so long to make. I want to make each very big production feel like an event, right? Like when you go to a movie in the theater and they have those big, sweeping, exciting intros, and the one you made for me, the way it turned out, it very clearly states that this is going to be awesome, we're going on an adventure, we've waited so long for this, and it's going to be so fucking cool, and I feel like it just gets... It sets the mood for the rest of the production going in. I'm very pleased with it.
Oh my god, you're making me blush. Stop. My face hurts. I'm not supposed to smile this much. But I'm actually... God, that melted my heart.
What other machinimators have you worked with before?
Well, it's mainly been... I'm trying to think if there's anybody prior to the great Isaiah. Yeah, I can't think of anybody. Jesus Christ, that's just how much of my life this man has taken up.
Isaiah has really put you to work. I know that. You did a lot of stuff for Last Man Standing.
It's basically, at this point, it's just half my show. Oh my god.
Well, the 2045 thing, I think I posted that in your server in content sharing. Also currently doing something right now with another director. And then I think I'm building some kind of, I don't know what it is, like orbital cannon for Cannon Bolt or something.
Tell us about the 2045 machinima you did.
Oh yeah, so that was just my own project. I wanted to give Machinima a try, see how it worked. I got some pretty good visuals. I was pretty much an amateur at storytelling, so I don't think that was very strong in it. But, I mean, it still looks very nice and everything. Still some kind of story there. It's not nonsensical or anything.
Okay, so other projects, there was one. It was called Kenshin Chaos Episode 4. It was basically Kudajira going against Gigan 2004 specifically. That episode was actually being worked on last year, I would say beginning of spring. Like, the animation was actually going smooth, but unfortunately, I guess during the summer and fall, things kind of got downhill. Unfortunately, the episode was not finished, so me and the others had to drop out. As of right now, it's on my channel. It's unfinished, but it gives you an idea of what it looks like. So,
For me, you've also worked on Spartans Omega Halo and Brotherhood War, correct?
yes, correct.
Awesome. And then outside of my stuff, haven't you also done some stuff for some other directors?
I think Lazy Bunch. I think for his Reclaimer video.
And then didn't you do something for Cannonbolt?
I did. Yes, I did.
Outside of Hyborean, I've worked on Dead Silent, again, by Last Second Films. It's been fun. It's been a challenge. Forging for that, it's been interesting. It started off just kind of basic, as most things, and then it really evolved. Fortunately, the director, Charlie, or Green Hygiene, he was open to trying a lot of new ideas. We both had some ideas that we wanted to try, and we created a couple of things that kind of it completely changed the way that we were going to film the entire thing. And it's become something a lot bigger than what we thought it was going to. But in terms of forging, it's a zombie apocalypse, so post-apocalyptic art style has always been one of my favorite, just overall visual art styles. So being able to forge sets for that on such a large scale with such a mass amount of detail, that's been a lot of fun so far. Everything that we've produced is without trying to sound pretentious and talking us up, I would try to say that the things that we do on Dead Silent are some of the best things that's been done, in terms of visual design in a machinima for quite some time.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. I remember, if you remember, when I first watched Dead Silent, and one of my first comments was, "Holy shit, is that Halo 5? This looks way too good to be Halo 5." I didn't even know most of the shit that you guys do was even possible. You guys are really good at thinking outside of the box and making the most of the tool set that you have.
Well, a lot of that comes in hand with our props and prefab designer, which is Wardog7, or we also call him Nick. I'm the quote-unquote lead forge designer for Dead Silent. So I control all of the main structural stuff and the locations of where everything goes. And we'll think okay, what can we put in this scene that'll help feel a little bit more realistic? What can we put in here that would make sense? And what can we put in here to either help use up some space in the screen or to help kind of push the background a little bit further so that the world feels like an actual world. So we'll get a hold of Nick and say, I remember I asked him, I said, "Hey, do you think you can make a push mower?" And my expectations were very low. I was like, I didn't think that that he'd be able to make a push mower, but I figured, screw it, we'll try. And a couple days later, I get a screenshot on my phone, and it's a goddamn push mower.
Have we seen that push mower in Dead Silent yet?
Yes, we have. We've seen it in Chapter 2 at the trailer park.
Okay.
And there's actually a really good shot of some of the Hornets walking by it. And there's many things in that trailer park specifically. I remember asking him if he could make a propane grill. He put together a picnic bench. He put together some amps, a bunch of woodworking tools. We put together some trailers, some little John boats, and then he created individual colored motors to put on the back of the John boats. And
so cool.
But yeah, a lot of those little details comes down to Wardog and his incredible usage of a lot of the small items.
You also do the soundtrack for Dead Silent, isn't that right?
Yes. Yeah, I put together the music for Dead Silent, yes.
Yeah, that is pretty incredible to be not only an excellent forger, but also be composing the entire soundtrack for a series. You definitely have a lot of assets that Green makes use of. Tell us about what you worked on for Hyborean.
So for Hyborean, it's not really much. All I had to do was do the Infinity sequence.
So you did a bunch of stuff for a bunch of ship-related stuff for Spartans Omega Halo and Brotherhood War.
Oh yeah, I did. I did use Source Filmmaker, like how I usually use for the 3D animations. After Effects, for example, like the beam effects whenever they come out of the cruiser and carrier, that was a lot of fun. Space battle sequences was a lot of fun, but of course, during those times, I did have some limitations. Like for example, the Halo destroying that was being destroyed. That was After Effects. I didn't use any other software because I actually had a plan to use Blender to use it, but unfortunately, that would take a lot of time.
We were pretty pressed for time on Omega Halo, so that's perfectly understandable.
Yeah.
For this, what we're in right now, what else have we done? Remind me, what have we done?
You souped up the Infinity Reactor.
Oh yeah, that was fun. And I think I gave you a space deck for that as well.
Yes, yeah, you did the bridge. You supplied me with the bridge for the Infinity as well. That was very useful. Oh, you basically did every single interior bit for Phoenix Nest. So the garage, the barracks, those were all really cool.
And then I think the outside as well, and then there was another map. It was just...
Yeah, oh, you did the crashed frigate.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, there we go. That was a very cool one. I love that one.
There's a few different things, and the primary thing that you had me start on was all of the industrial stuff.
Just so people have context, so Knight joined up very, very late in production as we were shooting part 4, and then we got to talking about forging and stuff, and he built that tram that you see in part 5, and I was like, holy fucking shit, this looks really good. So we got into negotiating about revamping some of the maps for part 5 to have part 5 be really something special because it's the last part of the Lifebringer saga. And all the maps that I had were already built, but Knight went in and revamped a lot of them, starting with the industrial sector, and then the military sector, and then the outer city, inner city, that sort of stuff. So tell us about that, Knight.
When you said that it was industrial, I was like, oh, all right, yeah, this is it. This is my kitchen. This is where I cook, because I have experience in actually, I have 2 years of experience actually building metal compressor stations and warehouses. So building something that looks industrious, that wasn't hard for me at all. And I've been around gas and oil now for the past almost 8 years. So that one came really easy, and it was also very cool too that with Kron's filming schedule, the way that he approached all of this stuff, it was cool that, I guess, like, to kind of compare, with Dead Silent, I can make a map, I can make a set or multiple sets, and we won't film on them for months. We won't film on them for quite some time, maybe even a few weeks. I was building these sets for Kron, and whenever he first got a hold of me, I believe it was around like a Tuesday or something. We had talked about it, and it was because it was right after one of his body acting sessions.
Right.
Yeah, so that was that was on a Tuesday night, and by the next Tuesday, I had a map done, and we were filming on it, and I was like, man, this is cool. Like this is actually pretty cool. Like, it was a very streamlined process, and
that is not usually how things go. For me.
Yeah.
We were just barely keeping ahead of schedule. Yeah. You were like building the maps as we were using them.
It got a little rough for a bit there. At first I was like, all right, yeah, this should be okay. It'll be a little tight, but it'll be okay. I didn't realize just how tight it would be. It was tighter than a frog's asshole, and that's waterproof. Like, it was...
Never heard that before, but I like it.
Whenever it got into the residential sections, I thought that it was going to be easy to put it together. I thought that it was going to be like, all right, I'm just going to make buildings. I think residential 1, I can't remember which one gave me the most issues.
It was 1,
one of them,
because you finished 2 decently quickly, and then you were stuck on 1 for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was rough. I lost like my inspiration for it, and every time I jumped on there, and also, if you remember, I was having the issue where like everything would just disappear.
Oh,
Not disappear, but like I I couldn't do anything, and I didn't know what was going on, and I kept going in there, and I would forge for a little bit, and then suddenly I couldn't do anything. I couldn't save my progress, so that was just really, that was really, it was just bringing my overall just attitude towards it down pretty low, and I was like, man, anytime I jumped onto Halo, and I jumped on and I saw that it was a Hyborean residential one, I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. I would just go to something else, and come to find out that it was just a bunch of energy swords spawn spamming.
Yeah, that's so fucking weird, man. Halo 5
I've
and its
never had
quirks.
that.
Yeah.
And once I got that figured out, things kind of went smoother from there.
And then you also did the military sector, which I thought was very cool.
Oh yeah. That was fun. I remember talking with you about the architecture, style that I wanted to go for. I wanted to go for like modern brutalistic architecture. I think very, very quickly it started to transform into some really cool shapes and stuff that I thought, whenever you look at it, you're like, damn, I believe that future military would definitely occupy this space.
I think my favorite thing that you did was the inner city stuff. And specifically the Citadel that we are currently looking at behind you right now. Man. But the inner city stuff with the Forerunner architecture just invading and growing in places looks really cool.
I remember you explaining that the Forerunner structures, that basically it's a seed, and then it's starting to grow and it's starting to consume the building, the pre-existing buildings. And I remember thinking man, that's badass, that's really cool. But what we're on now, I feel it was a cool last thing to work on for Hyborean. I was definitely glad, guys. I remember this originally wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I'd already filmed a lot of scenes on the Citadel before you came around on the original version, and then you were like, can I redo it? And I was like, well, I already shot some stuff on it, I don't want to go fucking redo it. And then I finally broke down, and I was like, it is embarrassing that I've used these 128 stack plates for so long. Yeah. Just fucking redo it, and we'll reshoot all the scenes. And we did, and holy crap, am I so fucking happy that we did, because this looks so much better.
So basically, I just did the intro. The cool text just coming on screen. You always give me a really rough draft where it's this text with this font, and it's just do something cool. So it's just really just, okay, let's see what I got.
Do you have a favorite thing you made for Hyborean or any other Chronicler 177 production?
My favorite? I think I'm definitely going to have to go with the Brotherhood. Actually, it's a cross between the intro to Brotherhood with the the UNSC SOS.
The computer screens, yeah.
Yeah, something about that, I don't know, it was so different. I never got to do something like that before, and I was just really proud of how it turned out. And then the icing over was also on par.
Yeah.
That just was too smooth for me to not fall in love with.
Honestly, it's probably the Batcave. It's always going to be the Batcave. Everyone loves the Batcave.
Yeah, every time I brought body actors on here, they're like, wow, this looks really cool.
Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, what we're on now, I think the Citadel turned out really cool. I think that this looks fucking sweet. And really I would have to say that I love the visuals of the military map. I'm really happy with how the structures turned out too. But honestly, I would say probably what we're on now, the Citadel, probably my favorite. Not only because of the visuals, but it was also where you kind of went outside of your box, and we did that split down the middle shot, and we took it from a lobby of 16 people and bumped it up to 32 people, and that's the first time that you've done that. I have to say this is the coolest because this is my favorite. Again, I think the visuals are badass, but also just the steps taken on this map as well.
Yeah, the Infinity Sequence, I think that's actually my number one.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, because I took the time to it. I took my time and try to make it as good as possible. I think that's number one, in my opinion.
All right, well, that's the end of my questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I hope that everybody enjoyed Hyborean. Honored that I got to help film the the demise, the ending of the Lifebringer. Yeah, Hyborean was a lot of fun to work on. I'm looking forward to continuing to working with Kron. Really good job to all the people involved, the body actors, voice actors especially, voice actors and voice actresses, and then also to Wolf for all of the sets that he had built as well, and thanks to both Joe and Nick for also helping out.
You're insane. Like, the amount you get done on your own is crazy, especially in this game. Oh, God. I can't even imagine.
Well, I'm not so much on my own as I used to be. I got guys like you now helping me out with stuff.
Megalodon?
Yeah, we got Mega, helps me with writing. We got the Forge team now. I got Wolf and Night Avenger on the crew. I got people like you and Dragoon helping me with effects. And of course I have all the body actors and voice actors. I'm definitely not alone.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like, we're nothing without our teams.
Oh, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. Wouldn't be anything without them. So that's why I always really, really appreciate you guys' help, especially when folks like you who are already, you and Night Avenger are already busy with stuff, and I'm like, hey, do you want to help out a little bit? And then you guys go out of your way to help out a lot of bit, and it's so awesome. I'm so grateful. With the end of Hyborean, you are closing off your services to everybody in order to focus on your life. So that means that Hyborean will be the last project that you work on for me. So I just want to say, I want to say how much of a pleasure it's been to work with you and how grateful I am, because without you, Omega Halo wouldn't have even been able to happen. You bailed out Omega Halo in a time of crisis. And then Brotherhood War and Hyborean, Brotherhood War especially, wouldn't have been nearly as good as they are without your help. So I just want to express how thankful I am to have had you on the team for these years, and it's been just so great having you, dude.
Yeah, it has.
Is there anything you'd like to say to everyone as a final message?
Yes. I just want to say, hey, thank you so much for watching my, well, not my content, it's your content, but my work, on Chronicler 177's projects, but also some of my projects that have appeared to other people's videos and also my videos. Thank you guys for supporting Chronicler and me as well. So we do appreciate it.
We absolutely do. All right, well, if we're finished here, there is something you didn't know about these interviews, how I end them all.
Son of a... You shit.
And you know how I end these.
Oh boy.
Well, if that's that, you know how I end these.
Oh god.
Didn't even resist. What a chud. Oh no, I feel like you're going to shoot me now, aren't you?
If I can get the camera on target, maybe.
Yeah, you're like spot on. I'm looking down your... Yep, there we go.